like I said, we'll just have a conversation. I'll throw a couple questions out. Wherever they go is great. We can. I mean, you know the drill. Sort of. If you don't like the way you say it, we'll do it again.
Right.
It's cool. Whatever.
I bought the book by R.L. Osborne and Mike Buff, 101 Tricks. We bought that, got that.
Go back.
Okay.
You want to burp in the whole thing.
Right. It's the wine. It's not.
I go back to the original point.
And I'm going to have to take a piss break in a minute here.
That's fine. You're getting a head start right now.
Okay. Sort of cleansing the body.
All right. So, kind of like, can you see Chris, or is that light in your way? I can move it.
I can see him.
Yeah, I know. I was like rambling all over
over
the place. I should probably pee.
Okay. So the first question.
This cold air is going to give me hard nipples, so anyway, go ahead.
Anytime you're going to say something that's really good, it was wicked pisser.
Coming from California to this other.
I just remember I could breathe very well there. It was just like clean and green and chilly.
So I remember getting to Fitchburg, and there was this 6-foot quarter pipe over in the corner, which was like, I'd ridden a 6-foot quarter pipe, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get to the top of that one. But then the Mountain Dew quarter pipe just seemed like this giant wall, and it was now what you'd consider a mini ramp essentially. But
Pit bike performer. Yeah. Yeah, I think GT had made something special for him and wanted me to present it to him. And yeah, watching little Maycomber, right? Yeah. Dude, he would just rip on doing some of these tricks. The wedge ramp.
Well, if you look this good, Jeff, you just,
Friggin' blackberry, I'm gonna get stuck
you.
there.
Ready?
Go ahead.
I'll try this, right?
Yes. Ready?
Yep. Thank you.
All right, so Ron, I'll have you.
Hello.
Towards,
Check
Chris.
1 2.
Yeah,
Check
so-
1 2. Check 1 2. Joe Johnson, and this video is about Joe Johnson, right?
Well, it's part
Is
of
this
it.
the Joe Johnson video we're here for?
At the bottom of the transition on the, I'm sorry, shut this thing off, hang on one sec.
Don't worry.
Oh, call me if they want to shoot. Dennis wants to know if want me to call him right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't kill yourself.
Oh, when I went off the side of the ramp?
It was like a 360 to 50-50, and you fell off the ramp like this, backwards.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh my God, did he?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know he didn't die, but.
Let's have a big hand for the Higher Freestyle team. Let's jump it up for Joe Johnson. Check it out. Yes! Oh. Let's see how Joe's doing. Oh, he's all right. He's got his safety gear on. Do it again! That's everything else. It's incredible. Joe Johnson. Everyone's okay. That's the Higher Freestyle team.
Yeah, it's another one I got real lucky on. He's another example of, just 9 lives, I guess. Just getting lucky with the position of a car. I landed on the hood of a car on the side of the ramp. It's like 540 off the. It was supposed to be a 540, but I think I did end up, just 540 to the deck. But I think I ended up a little bit in a 50-50 position, and then fell backwards off the back left of the deck. So I think ass over tea kettle, and I just happened to land on my shoulder on this on the hood of a car that broke the fall a bit, and I come shooting up from around the front of the ramp, and the crowd's like, all right, yeah, because it looked like I was a goner, but to pop out and I'm okay. That was just luck right there. So.
I have, man. I'm serious. I've dreamt of. That's kind of the same thing of jumping out of an airplane. You never land. It's gonna get me going. You know, Joe Johnson, they do their shit, man. One time,
I'm gonna learn it, then you're gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn before you.
Yeah, you know, you might be able to learn a trick before Joe, but it's a big difference when you're doing it at 1 foot and Joe's doing it at 8 feet. You know, and pretty much he picked up everything pretty quick, except for some of the ground tricks. I don't think he was too thrilled that I did a cherry picker before him.
Close scene.
Yeah. What about, do you,
There you go.
That's the Boston influence. Tell Travis what you like about his sneakers or his shoes.
Do they make them for men?
Wow.
that's a Wicked something else. That's another movie. We can, Wicked Glide. I don't know, whatever.
It could be a Wicked
Part 2.
Go out there and just we wouldn't practice racing because that was lame and stuff, but we just hit the jumps and just ride around the track.
Dennis, what the hell are all those kids doing in my basement?
Again, whoever, anyone, let's go, the three of you, just give me some of your impressions about what was it like being that 15, 16-year-old kid riding freestyle in New England. You're looking at this going, how do we do that?
It was a competition run from, I think, Rehoboth. Oh yeah, And it yeah. was my first. Was that the one where Lashua was really late with the ramps? Yeah.
We got screamed. Are you really ready now? Yeah! Okay. Do you guys think they're really ready? Can you hear? Oh, no, okay. Now, Darren can't hear you too well. You got to let them know you really want to see some action. And that helps you. You'll feel better because you'll cheer. Are you ready to see some freestyling? Yeah! All right, that's a little bit better. Do we have music? I don't know either. I don't run the technician. Okay, we have a tape over here. Oh, yeah! Crank it, and Stephen Kyander, 18-year-old full factory rider.
You know, Jeff Larson, of course, made that trip unforgettable as well. Boxing gloves and roller skates and falling out of palm trees, you know, trying to parachute from it, thinking that it's just like a regular pine tree or something, you know, and cracking his head on the concrete where the hot tubs were in the hotel was just like mind blowing. It's like, what are you doing?
Cheesy bike concepts and parts that you might remember from the early days.
I just remember just sticking bars on everything. Like I remember these handlebars that had like platforms coming out the bottom, so basically you just smash your knees right into them. Like, what are you supposed to stand on and do anything? There was nothing. Like, those were horrible.
I couldn't even get to that because the rims suck so bad. The brakes never worked.
Oh no, because they were like brushed aluminum. Yeah. They weren't even, because like you needed chrome rims. You want your brake. No, we did so much stupid stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it, we would spray. Because Rick Allison, we heard that he put this blue like spray from, you get an auto parts store, it's like for disc brakes, not to clean your rims, but it put this like coating of sticky stuff on your rims, and like, but it worked awesome. So awesome, your brake pads wouldn't release. And so we like, you know, spun our wheel and we're like, and then we get out there and we like try an endo and we're like, yeah, and we're like, whoa, we can't ride away because our brakes are stuck. It was funny. I mean, we just did.
I mean, there was some stupid stuff. I remember C-posts with a loop coming out of it. You're supposed to stand on it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to stand on it or hang your laundry on it. I mean, it didn't do anything.
Like weird, like I had to So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. If the part wasn't going to work, I wasn't going to run it. You know, Joe would probably be more up for that, where he would fix his bike with a rock and a screwdriver more times than none. The kid had a rock in his hand every day, you know, banging nails or bending something back.
Hey, I'm Keith McElhaney. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh.
The guys I used to roll around with in the car back east to Greg Rogers' house.
Oh, God. Greg Rogers' house.
You know, I think two extremes from back then were Greg Maycomber and Keith McElhaney. Now, Greg was a small kid. He did very precise tricks. He knew exactly what he was doing at every second of every trick, and you could tell. And he had control, he had showmanship and everything in one package. Keith was flailing all over the place. You couldn't tell what position his bike was in half the time. It would be creaking and cracking, and you could swear you'd hear it snap sometimes, and you'd see his tires kind of peel off the rim a little bit. Definitely no Dibby Gibson for him. You'd have a different music style altogether. So you saw some extremes that were pretty cool. You had some personality from each of them.
Talk a little bit about how just you go from being just a good old kid in Beverly, going on to being sort of a really prominent person in the New England freestyle scene.
A prominent person.
Well, you were. I mean, with your super energized runs and you know the roll aid and your.
I pretty much just capitalized completely on being obnoxious. That's what I do. It all started when I was just a lad.
I mean, DMC, I don't know why he stopped riding Flatland, because he was amazing.
Who's
at it.
DMC?
Dennis McCoy.
You know him like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I stopped because of this. Like, I got wrist surgery that year, and that's all that bends now. And something about triple hang gliders when you can't even hold your body weight up or do push-ups anymore wasn't as appealing.
As a kid that grew up in a house in Metro Boston with two parents from the Midwest, I never got the Boston accent, but boy did I learn it as a kid growing up. And it was at the BMX track, 35 years ago, I heard it for the first time. My New Englandism to contribute that came up again in a ridiculous race a couple weekends ago. But it was always, go harder, harder. And if you can imagine, eons later, at a cyclocross race, if anyone even knows what that is that's watching this, good for them. But an awesome party that I think was maybe much in the spirit of some of the freestyle days at the Ice Weasels. They were selling T-shirts that said, go harder.
It impresses me so much when I watch you guys just nail something. You know, you've got a great story, and you just sort of tweak it a little bit, and boom.
You do a good job explaining.
Thanks.
Very, very articulate. You have a lot of, you flow very nicely. It's like listening to a movie. That's why I'm focusing on the fire and I'm listening to you. I'm reliving all of this. It's very cool.
Tell me about...
Not even like your wife, you know, like, go away, you don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. Just you're not married. I know.
Yeah. No, true.
Cool. Okay, group hug for Wendy.
Am I done?
Do that. You gotta do it. So the word crit is from critical, like radical, and that's where crit came about.
The early ramps from the late 70s to the early 80s, we call them the dit-dur ramps for a couple of reasons. First of all, they moved around a lot. They jostled when you hit them. But the other thing is when you hit that abrupt change in the plywood, the ramp would go, so that's where we coined that term from.
The funny thing is we used to make things and then we used to swear there was like a spy by us, because one of my friends made, ended up being called a buff guard, but he had made it like 3 or 4 months before they ever came out.
Some guys weren't worried about getting caught. Myself, I was chicken. I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to face the consequences. But I was also the recipient of wood being delivered, so to speak, at very odd hours of the night.
Freestyle in New England was just, to us, back in Northbridge was, I don't know.
Let's do that again. Okay, bye.
Got that on film, you're blackmailed.
I know. Adrian Brody, right in front of you.
With all my head injury, I hope that I at least get, I hope I at least get to keep those memories, you know.
You're not gonna like this. Doesn't look good.
No.
It's like half your face is sunny, half of it's dark.
All right.
Yeah, we were, you know, the scene was homegrown. I mean, we had like, you know, my dad made like, you know, these awesome bright yellow T-shirts for the Fitchburg contest. They were fantastic. I still have like 1,000 of them if you want to buy any. $8.99.
To perfect a trick that you've been, you know, thinking about, or you saw somebody else do. I'm totally gonna flake on this one.
Did I say skate? Yeah. Oh no, I didn't mean that.
That's okay. No, I'm just thinking.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired.
That's okay.
Now, what if I happen to look over to you? Is that bad? No. Okay, I'm going to try to look at that tree. If you can even point to, if you tend to see me look, you know, just kind of give me that, yeah.
This is what I suggest. We demolish all of this. This is not working for me.
Probably don't have a good on-camera persona. Oh yeah, no, I was just giving my old butt a break. You know, these little plastic seats don't feel the same. You know, it's not a Cashimax Aero under there anymore.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You seem nervous. It's a little stiff.
Okay.
I want you to be raw.
Okay.
Not like motivational speaker.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is in that take there, you come in a little bit serious.
Yeah, okay.
We were not your average kids.
Okay. All right, let me try one more time. We were not your average kids. We were setting off on a mission of sorts on our BMX bikes. But the one thing we didn't realize was that this mission would take the rest of our lives to complete.
That was good. Try one more time. Even a little more serious in the beginning. I'm trying to match.
A little more serious in the beginning?
Yeah, like
okay.
kind of like that image comes.
I gotcha.
It's like holy, you know.
All right. We were not your average kids. We were setting off on a mission of sorts on our BMX bikes. But the one thing we didn't realize was that this mission would take the rest of our lives to complete.
That's perfect.
Okay, let me do one more. All right, you got one more in you? All right.
The contest scene. I actually judged a contest in Johnson's in the background. Where was that?
Oh, that was in Natick.
Yeah. To this day, I kind of feel bad because I had TJ Fallon beating Johnson for the overall, but I scored it how I saw it, Joe. You were sketchy as fuck on flat. TJ nailed his shit, and that's just the way I saw it. But I remember, I remember feeling kind of harsh because they said like the range is 0 to 100, and me being like from a math background, I was like, all right, well, that guy sucked. He gets 20. And, you know, somebody had like an 80, but it was like full on like the range. I'd probably call the whole comp because. So if you average the other 4 scores, Joe, you probably beat TJ, but I think I had him like 18 points ahead of you or something.
Ride up a ramp, forget about getting down, you know? Everything you did was one-handed, you didn't have a choice. Yeah.
Ron and I stayed at Paul Delario's house on the way back from Manchester, and just the scene in his house. I mean, just classic, like I want to say it was his older brother screaming at the TV because the Bruins were like down by a couple goals or some shit. And it was exactly how you pictured it. And then later on a trip out to Joe's place in Stoughton, and he was bitching about his bars being bent or something. That wasn't bad. I didn't want to come off as a guy that couldn't do the accent. But
I don't have much more, I guess, to say.
Number 153, Peter Hill Drive.
Oh, don't worry. They'll never have a fire there. Hey, hurry up. We're making stuff here.
2 engine 3, squad 1, power 1 and car 3. Map 18, Hudson Avenue to Treadwell Street.
Quiet on the set.
Kevin, answer the question now.
Yeah. Well, so when I think back to the the early days, early days of BMX, I think about fire trucks. Sliding careers. Well, when I watch those guys fade away and drift off into fire trucks endlessly,
to yet another spectacular catastrophe, this is what I think of. This is what they do. Bye. See ya. See ya. Peace out, bitches. That's what they do. That's what they do. They leave. They leave. They just leave. They go away. Just when you get attached.
Perfect. Good.
It's getting hot here yet?
Yeah. that was great. I think we got a lot of great stuff there.
Cool. Let's get a picture of you guys here in action here. Let's see you guys right here. There you go. 1, 2. One more. I think we maximized the space.
We did. Woo! Ooh, that's right.
Well, cool.